Live from the tank on the campus of the College of Staten Island, CSI Sportsnet welcomes you into NCAA Division II women's basketball coverage. In today's East Coast Conference matchup, the College of Staten Island Dolphins host the Spartans of St. Thomas Aquinas College. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Joe Foreman, alongside my broadcast partner, Nick Durst. And Nick, the Dolphins come in riding a conference win streak. They have won 3 straight, and they are fresh off of a hard-fought victory earlier in the week on the road at Mercy University.
Yeah, big victory on the road earlier this week. Looking to go 2-0 this week, taking on a team that has had their number, especially last season. They were blown out in the first game when they met, and the second game was much closer. A single-digit loss, so Dolphins looking to get in the win column against St. Thomas Aquinas, the Spartans, and this is a game in which the Dolphins are coming in with a lot of confidence, fully healthy now. As we've seen the last few games, Kyra Rose came back earlier than expected, so they're firing on all cylinders here, and they are led, of course, by Jenelise Alarcon.
Jenelise Alarcon does it all for this Dolphins team, as we have said many times this year, a huge contributor both at the offensive end and the defensive end. Once again scored in double figures during CSI's win over Mercy, just 1 rebound shy of a double-double. And Nick, you mentioned some of the recent history between the Dolphins and the Spartans. The most recent meeting came on the road for the Dolphins last season at Spark Hill. They dropped that game by 19. The game here at home, much closer. They lost that one by just 5. However, entering today's game, the Dolphins are still looking for their first ever victory against the Spartans as a Division II program. The last CSI win over Stack came all the way back in 1982.
Yeah, so this is going to be crucial for them to get things going here. As far as the ECC is concerned this season, Dolphins are off to a really strong start. Spartans not. But this could be where the Spartans turn things around. Dolphins, obviously, it's early, but hoping to get a top 4 seed going into the ECC tournament.
Dolphins hoping to find themselves near the top of the table in the East Coast Conference when play concludes today. They are certainly in that position right now, and something that is going to help them achieve that goal is the return of Dana Phelan. You mentioned that Kyra Rose came back a bit earlier than we expected. It was a 1-game absence for Dana Phelan, who missed the game at Mercy on Wednesday. She is back today, has appeared in 14 games this year for this Dolphins team. Only a couple of Dolphins had appeared in 15 entering, or I should say have appeared in 15 entering the game today. Those are Jenelise Alarcon, who has started all 15, Amber Abu-Spair, who has started all 15, Madison Haggett, and Dorothy Weesey, 4 Dolphins who have appeared in every game this year. Dolphins come in 9-6 in those 15 games, 3-1 against the ECC. The Spartans thus far on the year are just 3-11 and 1-3 in conference play. That being said, Stack can pull to within just 1 game of the Dolphins in the conference standings. With a victory here this afternoon, they will look to do that when we come back from this short break. This has been the McDonald's pregame show. The Dolphins and Spartans coming up next right here on the ECC Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to the tank on the campus of the College of Staten Island.
And we are back from the tank. Joe Foreman rejoining you alongside Nick Durst on the call for today's East Coast Conference women's basketball matchup between the College of Staten Island and St. Thomas Aquinas College. At this time, starters are being introduced out on the floor, and our starting lineups, as always, are brought to you by Jimmy Mac's Italian Restaurant and Pizzeria. My broadcast partner, Nick Durst, has those starting lineups.
First for the visiting St. Thomas Aquinas College Spartans, their head coach in his fourth season, a Villanova alum, Bill Cleary. Now, the starting lineups, here we go. Number 1, the guard at 5'5", Abby Jacoby. Number 11, the junior guard at 5'7", Trinity Cheatham. Number 12, the graduate forward at 6 foot, Carolina Yarusevichuit. And number 20, Delaney Finnegan, the sophomore forward from Southampton, Pennsylvania. And number 24, the senior forward at 6 foot, Liliana Kramer. For the College of Staten Island Dolphins, their head coach, Nicole Sarcone, a graduate of New Paltz in her 7th year as the head coach for the team. Number 2, the sophomore guard at 5'9" from New Hampshire, Madison Haggett. Number 3, the graduate student guard at 5'6" from Staten Island, New York, Amber Busbear. Number 4, the 5'9" junior guard from Jersey City, New Jersey, Kyra Rose. Number 11, the 5'11" forward graduate player from New Rochelle, New York, Alexa Carollo. And number 13, the 5'9" senior forward from Troy, New York, Jenelise Alarcon.
All right, thank you, Nick. Those, once again, our starting lineups presented by Jimmy Mac's Italian Restaurant and Pizzeria. And you mentioned, Nick, Jenelise Alarcon, who has been so huge for the Dolphins this season, as always, in the CSI starting lineup. Big effort the other night at Mercy, scored 17 points and grabbed 9 rebounds. As we mentioned, Dana Phelan on the Dolphins bench today. She is, however, not in the starting lineup. Kyra Rose, Amber Busbear, Madison Haggett, and Carollo join Jenelise Alarcon against a stacked team that has had plenty of success against the College of Staten Island in recent history. As I mentioned during our pregame, the Spartans have not lost to the Dolphins since CSI made the move to NCAA Division II. That's a streak they look to keep alive today. The Dolphins hope to keep alive their conference winning streak, and we are just about set for tip-off from the College of Staten Island between the Dolphins and the Spartans. Yarosevichuta will jump against Alarcon, and Jenelise wins the tip to Amber Busbear. This is Haggett on the wing, back up top, Busbear. Haggett now in the corner. Sends it back up top once again. Now Carollo on the wing. Haggett looks to drive, gets inside, finds Carollo. Carollo hit that big shot against Mercy on Wednesday as the shot by Haggett was blocked into the hands of Alarcon, who missed the layup. This is Cheatham with it. And a foul was called off the ball in the corner. Offensive foul goes against Stack on the game's first possession. Delaney Finnegan picks up the game's first personal.
Quick early foul for Stack.
Spartans without their leading scorer today. Sarita Faraj not available for the Spartans, and that's nearly 18.5 points per game as the Dolphins pick up an offensive foul here.
Dolphins foul charge number 13, Jenelise Alarcon.
Trading fouls now early on.
Behind Faraj, who averages 18.4 points and nearly 11 rebounds per game. The next leading scorer for Stack averages under 10 points per game. That is Bailey Chapman, who was also unavailable today.
Tough break for Spartans in this game to have their top 2 scorers out.
Of the active Spartans, Carolina Yarosevichuta, the leading scorer and rebounder, as that shot in the paint does go down for Delaney Finnegan.
Nice play by her there to turn around and lay that in.
This is Haggett for Kyra Rose. Rose cross-court pass tipped. Last touched by the Spartans. 16 on the shot clock. This is Abu Spare now. Over to an open Carollo, and she traveled.
Carollo had that big shot earlier in the week to propel the Dolphins to victory.
Carollo knocked down the go-ahead jumper. With about 6 seconds to go against Mercy, the Dolphins defense then came up big, forcing a turnover to clinch that win. As a foul is called in the corner on Haggett, she left her feet and made contact with Cheatham.
Yeah, Haggett went up way high in the air there for a block attempt, but ended up landing on Cheatham, who didn't leave her feet yet.
Yarosevichuta in the paint was double-teamed, had it poked away. And Yarosevichuta was last to touch it. It will be Dolphins ball. Dolphins all season long have been such a resilient bunch. When they fall behind, they are certainly not out of a game, and we saw that on Wednesday at Mercy. Came from behind late as Rose had that one poked away. Cheatham to the floor, threw it right to Abu Spare. Off the hesitation, Amber is double-teamed underneath, in trouble. She finds Haggett. No good from three. Carollo with the rebound, had it poked away. She is now doubled. And Haggett will try again. Splash.
Well, what an effort there by the Dolphins, as initially I think Rose dribbled the ball off her foot. Abu Spare picks it up. One time to Haggett, no good. Carollo with the big rebound, back to Haggett, buries the three.
That's the kind of hustle and effort that head coach Nicole Sarcone loves to see, as that floater won't go. Outlet pass, Alarcon to the rim, and she lays it up and in.
Beautiful pass by Abu Spare there. Alarcon didn't have to take one dribble, just picked the ball up, was under the rim, lays it up and in.
And we've seen Amber so good at that all season. Really great vision up the floor off of missed shots, and a great passer when forced to send one a long way up the floor.
I think it's fair to say that Abu Spare, her court vision and passing skills, the best we've seen from a Dolphins point guard in at least 4 or 5 years.
This time Amber looks inside to Alarcon, and her pass was stolen. Well, after that last Dolphins make, the Spartans did come right back down the floor, scored very quickly. Yarosevichuta up top, feed inside was tipped. And was last touched by the Spartans.
Yeah, like it was deflected by Rose, ended up going off Kramer and out of bounds.
Stack bench didn't like it. Bill Cleary, the head coach, in his 4th season at the helm for the Spartans. This is Carollo, over to Rose. Now Abu Spare for Masinghe. Noemi had just checked in and had that one poked away.
Yeah, ended up going off her foot out of bounds.
Should be noted, Nick, that while Dana Phelan is on the bench, she is not in uniform at the moment.
Yeah, not sure what the injury was, but does not look at the moment or appear like she would play, but she's putting her jersey, she doesn't have her jersey on, so you're right.
That might be changing in a moment.
Now it's going on. Jersey's on now, Joe.
She was certainly warming up actively, but she was not the first Dolphin off the bench. It was instead Noemi and Masinghe. CSI lead is 1 point as we approach 4 minutes gone by in this first quarter. Yarosevichuta on the wing, feeds it inside. Jacoby underneath, high floater off back iron, no good. And rebounded by Haggett.
Nice rebound by Haggett with Spartans all over her.
Masinghe for Abu Spare. And Amber almost lost her footing as she threw it away. Foul called against Kyra Rose.
3 fouls now with 5:53 left in the first quarter against the Dolphins.
Foul charge number 4, Kyra Rose, her first, team's 3rd.
Mia Fuller will check in for Abu Spare here. Spartans will inbound from directly to our right. Into the game for Stack is Alea Thomas. Looks like she's going to run the point. This is Yarosevichuta, and another offensive foul is called away from the ball.
I don't know if I've ever seen so many offensive fouls.
We've covered quite a few women's games, Nick, where we've seen the Dolphins whistled for a few of those.
Yeah, but we're at 3, 4 so far in this game.
The whistles are coming quickly early in this first quarter in terms of the offensive fouls. Haggett from Rose out to Carollo for 3. No good. And the rebound goes to Jacoby. Jacoby looked to push, has Cheatham for 3. And that's good from the left corner.
Cheatham right there in the corner. Drains the shot.
Stack back in front by a pair. Haggett for Rose, and Dana Phelan now heads to the scorer's table for Staten Island. Carollo looks to attack and draws the foul.
Carollo will go to the free throw line now.
That will have to wait as we have reached our first media timeout. 4:58 to go in the opening quarter. Stack leads Staten Island 7-5.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials. Live music. And the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dining order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
And we are back from the tank with 4:58 to go in the opening quarter. Staten Island trailing St. Thomas Aquinas 7-5. Early in this one, leading the way in scoring for the Spartans is Delaney Finnegan with 4 on the side of Staten Island. Madison Haggett leads them in scoring with 3, but Haggett thus far just 1 of 3 from beyond the arc.
Carollo here going to the free throw line to attempt to tie up the game. Mia Fuller in the game now. Dana Phelan and Masinghe still out there. Carollo and Haggett, who's played the whole game so far. Dolphins going for the full court press here, trying to trap.
Spartans navigate it well. Ball back up top with Jacoby, 15 to shoot. On the wing, Thomas, defended by Haggett. Now Finnegan inside, Yarasevichuta. Defended by Carollo, double teamed and blocked. Rebound was pulled in by Finnegan. Three-pointer on its way, too strong. And Fuller has the rebound. Haggett to Phelan. Phelan looks to drive, immediately was doubled. Now Haggett up top, Carollo.
Carollo, likes to shoot it from there, so good job defensively or the Spartans to close in on her.
Dolphins got up the floor quickly, had plenty of time as Haggett can't connect on that triple. Cheatham up the floor quickly to the rim, and the floater won't go. Offensive board and putback is good.
Nice job there by Cheatham to follow up her own shot.
Once we have another break in the action, we'll talk a bit about the East Coast Conference standings early in the year. Right now, Dolphins find themselves in a very good spot. And we've seen the last couple of years the Dolphins' playoff fate hanging in the balance a bit later in the season. They're in the driver's seat through 4 games. A win here today could really go a long way as Carollo can't finish there.
Yeah, I know Coach Sarcona like that. They always have to sneak in at the end to figure out their seeding last week of the season.
Dolphins very much, and again, it's very early, but very much in the running right now to potentially host a home game. Perhaps even earn a first-round bye. Up and under move, no good. Cheatham again in a double team. Went up with a tough shot. This is Carollo.
Now, Jeff, the Dolphins host the home game. Are you going to be here, or will you be on a baseball or softball trip?
This is Phelan. In and out from way downtown, but Carollo has the rebound. I'll address that in a moment.
Nice rebound there by Carollo, crashing from the outside.
Good move there by Carollo, but she couldn't finish. And the Spartans nearly threw it away, but Jacoby secures it and moves up the floor quickly. Here's Thomas. Outside to Finnegan, up top, Cheatham left open. Instead, gives it to Yarasevichuta, gets it right back, and she traveled. So on the topic of the ECC playoffs, the way it works, as we've mentioned before, the 1 and 2 seed both get first-round byes. However, the 1 seed also earns the right to host both the semifinal and the final. Obviously, the Dolphins would love that if they could get the 1 seed. Right now, they are 2 games out in the win column, effectively 2 games out, as they have already lost to the current 1 seed, Damon University. Very early to be looking at seeding, as Fuller's 3 is no good. Rebound pulled in by Finnegan. That being said, if the Dolphins were to finish as the 3 or the 4, they would host a home game on Wednesday, March 5th. As of now, I'm scheduled to be in Florida with softball on that date. If the Dolphins were to host a home game, I would probably have to find my way back. I wouldn't want to miss a home game in the playoffs.
Have to be our first home game in the playoffs.
It would be a bit difficult, but we would figure it out. And what makes it so difficult is that the day before, on March 4th, softball plays a pair of afternoon games that would probably wrap up around 6 p.m.
So you got to hope there's a late 10 p.m. flight.
Exactly.
Or a 6 a.m. flight the next day.
I did give it a look, and right now the flight price is very, very unfavorable. So we'll see what happens. I think it becomes a bit easier, as that floater is good by Morrell. It becomes a bit easier if I get a ride back from the airport. Then I have more options in terms of flying back in.
Well, I think our guy Joe Calabrese will pick you up if you're flying into Newark.
Oh, yeah?
Absolutely. He's offered to pick me up before he picks up his friends all the time.
Sounds good. Feed inside to Alarcon, and a nice pass from Weesey sets up the easy 2.
What a pass there through all the traffic, and Alarcon lays it in.
Weesey played some very important minutes in the game on Wednesday at Mercy. She was in there during crunch time, hit 2 huge free throws down the stretch to tie that game late. Spartans there lose it on the inside following the missed shot. It will be Dolphins ball. Masinge for Alarcon. And now Masinge draws contact on the give and go.
Yeah, nicely executed give and go there. And Masinge will head to the free throw line with 47.9 seconds left in the first quarter, looking for the chance to tie it up at 11.
In other news, in addition to potentially hosting a first-round home game in the playoffs, should the Dolphins be fortunate enough to advance further than that, the current seeding right now would see them play the semifinal round at Damon University. Right now, Damon men's and women's basketball, both 5-0, obviously a lot of time between now and the postseason. However, given those circumstances and being about 2 months out from potential games in Buffalo, as Masinge goes 1 of 2, Alarcon rebounds the miss, and Masinge draws another foul. With the potential of games in Buffalo, I was a bit proactive. I booked my return flight from softball into Buffalo, just in case. Just in case.
Well,
and
that'd be great for you. You'll be there, and maybe you'll broadcast the games.
That possibility at one point was on the table, and I think with me now having a flight booked, as Masinge misses the free throw, that possibility increases a bit. I will be there if either of our teams is playing, and we are not hosting a home game here in the semifinal round. So 2 conditions would have to be met.
So you call 4 games in Buffalo.
Well, if I call the games. Let's assume I'm not calling the games for now. But I'm going to be there regardless, as Alarcon has another rebound off of a Masinge miss. This time, Noemia goes 0 of 2 from the line.
Well, Alarcon goes to the line, and she's one of the best free throw shooters in the country, as we know. Now, the game after this, the men's game, it's a game you want to really be in the building for. If not, you could, of course, watch us, but that could determine a lot of seeding on the men's side as well.
The men and the women are both in very similar positions. The women right now are actually in a slightly better spot because they are the only other 3-win team in the conference as Alicon misses another free throw. But
Dolphins not doing a good job here to close out the quarter from the free throw line.
they've now missed 4 free throws and make it 5.
4 in a row. 5 in a row.
But anyway, as I was saying, the women right now are in a slightly better position than the men because other than Damon, the women are the only team in the ECC with 3 wins in conference play. Dolphins 3-1 on their heels right now. Queens at 2-1, and then Damon, of course, 5-0. This game means a lot for both of these teams today, though it is early. As Jacoby can't get the scoop shot to go, it did not hit the rim, and that will be a shot clock violation. But as I mentioned, Nick, for the Spartans, they are without their 2 top scorers. So if they can steal a win in conference play
Huge.
without those 2 players, that's really big for this stacked team as well.
Right now, 1-point lead. Perhaps going into the second quarter, they'll take it.
Fuller inside for Alarcon, 2 seconds on the clock. And Phelan buries the triple to end the first quarter.
Welcome back, Dana. Knocking down the 3.
Is that a DP3, Nick?
That's a good one.
I think it is. First quarter comes to a close. The Dolphins lead it 13-11 following a buzzer-beating 3 by Dana Phelan.
No, I'm right. The podcast that uncovers the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, and entertainment. Nick Durst here along with Joe Calabrese.
Here we are, 200 episodes later, about 150 episodes with guests, our friends, soon to be your friends.
Well, it's pretty clear, Joe, that it's all about You Know I'm Right, the podcast. That's my You Know I'm Right moment. Wanted to do a podcast, and everyone was like, what are you, crazy? Who's going to listen? You're not going to get guests. Well, guess what? I'm the best when it comes to getting guests. You can vouch for that.
I am so happy that you asked me to do this. I couldn't have been more thrilled. And follow us on socials, check us out. I promise you, if you want to work in media, whether you work in media now, whether you want to quit your job and work in media, come to us, and I promise you, we will get you on the right foot.
That's what it's all about, uncovering the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, and entertainment. Keep it locked on You Know I'm Right.
And we are back from the tank where Dana Phelan gave the Dolphins a lead at the end of that first quarter, knocking down a
Dana.
three-pointer.
Sorry to jump over you, Joe.
That's all right. Downtown Dana with a DP3 to end the first quarter. We'll have to see what she thinks about that next time you speak to her during the post-game.
Well, you know,
interviews.
she's just chomping at the bit to do another post-game interview. I think she told me she's purposely not going to be the player of the game anymore.
Shots like that won't help.
She's got a lot of confidence, though, on the court, so.
Confidence is key. In the corner, Finnegan crossed over, was met on the baseline by Weesey. 15 on the shot clock for the Spartans. Nice bounce pass from Yara Sevachuta to Cheatham.
Yara Sevachuta with the great bounce pass court vision there, and Cheatham continues to finish at the rim.
Weesey cross court to Alarcon. Now Haggett lost it off her foot. And it will be Spartans basketball. And Nick, Stack led for much of that first quarter. The Dolphins took the lead back right at the end there on the Phelan 3.
Yeah, could it be a big momentum shifter? We shall see. We've seen a lot of games here at home where the Dolphins have fallen behind early and had to fight hard to come back at the end. So far in this one, everything's even.
And Cheatham knocks down her second 3. That puts the Spartans in front by 3.
10 points now for Cheatham, the leading scorer.
Haggett up top. Now we see in the corner, cross-court pass to Abu Spare for 3. And she can't answer as Cheatham grabs the rebound.
Good look, but the shot would not fall.
Yara Sevachuta makes the catch, gains her footing, and finishes over Alarcon.
6 foot Yara Sevachuta right there. Going to the basket over Alarcon with ease.
And we said it, the Spartans are going to need her to put up some big numbers today as Kyra Rose banks in that shot.
First points of the game for Rose.
Rose hangs and hits on the baseline. The Dolphins back to within 3.
The fans behind us were loving that.
On the wing, Finnegan. Bounce pass to Yarasevic-Chuda. That one snatched out of the air by Purpura. That shot from the outside off the mark. And here comes Abu Spair. Feed to Rose, and it was knocked away by Cheatham.
You know, Abu Spair, she moves so quick, Joe, that sometimes she surprises her teammates with the quick pass. Rose ready for that one, but so were the Spartans.
Madison Haggett had a word with Abu Spair following the conclusion of that play. I'm not sure if perhaps she mentioned that she was trailing that play open beyond the arc. From in that deep, it's a tough pass, especially with how late Abu Spair got rid of the ball as we have a foul called. Goes against Purpura.
Spartans foul charge number 22, Katie Purpura, her first, team's first.
Purpura's first and the team's first of the second quarter. Rose the inbounder with 20 on the shot clock. Haggett outside for Weesey. Abu Spair will use the Rose screen. Bounce pass inside Alarcon. She works along the baseline and draws the foul.
Well, Dolphins have left a lot of points at the free throw line so far. Could have been ahead had they made those shots.
Spartans foul charge number 12, Carolina Yarasevic-Chuda.
But that apparently was not on the shot attempt. So Rose will inbound here.
And I think that's the right call. Haggett off the inbound pass, kicks out to Abu Spair. Splash.
Well, if they're going to leave Amber open, we've seen it this season that she will take the three-pointers, missed the first one before, takes the second from the same spot, and makes the shot.
Dolphins back even at 18. Good response from CSI, and at the other end, Finnegan answers with the and one.
Finnegan there gets fouled by Haggett, but still makes the shot.
And you mentioned at the other end, Amber Abu Spair's willingness to shoot threes when given the opportunity. Thus far in the year, she's shooting just 25% from downtown. Dolphins as a team shooting just 28% from distance this year. Free throw way off from Finnegan. Here comes Weesey up ahead to Abu Spair. Rose hangs and hits once again along the baseline.
Well, that's pretty much the signature shot for Rose there. Going to the basket, leaning the shoulder in. She's able to convert it there.
Rose now with 4 points in the quarter. Jacoby bounce pass along the baseline. Finnegan had it poked away, and Jacoby was left all alone. Her shot in and out. Weesey with the rebound. She looks ahead. Now Abu Spair into the paint. Bounce pass for Alarcon, who can't finish. And Rose had two hands on it. Jump ball is the call.
Really quick jump ball call.
I thought so as well.
I don't even think Rose had her feet on the floor.
Now, who was the intended recipient of that pass? Alarcon or Rose on the bounce pass?
I don't know. I guess Rose.
I thought it was Rose, and Alarcon was able to grab it and got a great shot off. As Genelise draws another foul. That's 3 on the Spartans this quarter.
Spartans foul charge number 24, Liliana Kramer, her first, team's third.
Carollo up top. Now Abu Spair on the wing. Alarcon. She looks to attack, finds Weesey, and Weesey traveled.
So Dolphins here perhaps could take advantage of the fouls here with 6:26 remaining. We'll see if they attack the basket. Haven't seen too much three-point shooting in this quarter outside of Abu Spair.
In the game, the two teams thus far combined 5 of 15 from downtown. Now 5 of 16 as Weesey goes up for the rebound.
Nice rebound there by Dorothy.
Abu Spair again looking to push the pace. Alarcon was left open. elected not to shoot the three. Now Carollo looking for Alarcon. Genelise doubled, has we see open. Now Rose one-on-one underneath, and the bank shot won't go. Ball loose, snatched away by Rose, and she draws the foul.
Well, she misses that shot attempt, gets her own rebound, and then she gets grabbed and yanked by the arm, and now we're at 4 team fouls for the Spartans here with 5:47 left in the half.
This second quarter has been a bit more high scoring than the first. Fouls now 4-1. Dolphins with the 1 here in quarter number 2. We're all knotted up at 20. 10 on the shot clock. Alarcon gets inside and banks it in with the left hand.
Excellent job there by Alarcon with a lot of contact.
That was a tough shot. This is Cheatham at the free throw line, doubled. Jacoby thought about the pull-up, finds an open Cheatham. No good from 3, and Alarcon has the rebound. But the Dolphins throw it away. Bounce pass to a cutting Jacoby for an easy 2 points.
Yeah, Thomas gets the steal, gives it to Cheatham. Jacoby wide open cutting as the Dolphins did not get back in time on defense.
Carollo. Over to Abu Spare, and I thought Amber may have gotten away with travel there. We see cross court. Abu Spare stayed in bounds for a moment, but couldn't keep it that way.
We'll have a media timeout here.
Media timeout with 4:38 to go in the half. Our score all tied up at 22.
For me, just kind of was the glue that kept my family together, I feel like. I don't know what it was that drew me in, but after I started playing for a while and started seeing some early success as a little kid, to see how much it meant to my parents to see me play the game and try to make a difference was really what fueled me to keep playing and stay competitive. Being a triple major is not necessarily easy, but at the same time it is what you make it. Being a tighter-knit university, I have a lot of classes with the same professors, so they know me pretty well. I think it's that personal relationship that really helped me to thrive as a student. I was able to come here and get my triple major, as well as play a super high level of baseball against some of the best players in the country. There's a lot of options here in Division II with a lot of great ball players and a lot of great people, and they make sure that they give you every opportunity to succeed on and off the field.
And we are back with 4:38 to go in the first half. Spartans and Dolphins all tied up at 22. Both teams shooting at or above the 40% mark early in this game. The two sides, however, with a combined 17 turnovers and another 6 missed free throws to this point.
Our statistician, Joe Calabrese, absolutely loving the score of 22-22 in the second.
That's another 4-11s, Nick.
Yep.
Calabrese, a big proponent of numerology and some other disciplines that I don't exactly buy into. Foul there on the rebound. It's all right. We love Joe. Front row Joe.
Front row Joe. He loves being front row. And he might be picking you up from the airport, so.
Front row wasn't good enough for him. He had to get on the staff so that he could take one step above.
Yeah, I think what happened is, Joe will pick you up at the airport. He'll drive you straight here, and then after the game, drive you straight back to the airport.
That would be awesome. I think the flight the following day would have to be a morning flight. However, the issue, the day before a potential home game, softball plays in the afternoon. The following day, they play at 9 a.m. So it will be tough. It will be really tough. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Alarcon knocked down the first free throw and the second. The Spartans are now in the penalty. They have 5 team fouls with over 4 minutes to play in the second quarter. Jacoby in the corner. Bounce pass, Yaroslava Chuda. She tiptoes the baseline and finds an open Papura for the jump shot.
Papura, right at the free throw line, easily able to shoot that and make it.
They're all tied up once again, this time at 24. Fuller was looking inside, now Carollo. Rose for Phelan, bounce pass Alarcon. Genelise quickly doubled, she dribbles away from it. Fuller was open, Carollo is open. Splash!
Carollo knew where she wanted the ball. She stood put there. The whole sequence ends up being wide open on the nice pass there from Fuller and knocks down the three. Dolphins ahead by 3.
And that all starts with Alarcon drawing that double and eventually a triple team on the drive. She had 3 Spartan defenders chasing after her in the lane. Dolphins by 3. This is Cheatham off the crossover. Hop step. And she traveled.
Coach Cleary not happy with that call for the Spartans having to wear with the official.
Now, the game is officiated differently at different levels. I was trying to listen into the conversation over by the bench as Yarosevichuta makes that steal. I'll elaborate after this break for the Spartans. Cheatham will slow it down, but there's a nice feed and good extra pass into the corner as Jacoby is short on the 3. But as I was saying, the game is officiated a bit differently at different levels. And in the NBA, I think they're much more lenient in regards to calling travels than they are at the collegiate level, at least from what I've seen calling Division II basketball. But my understanding on a move like that, where you make the hop step, is that you complete the hop step and then you have a chance to establish one of those 2 feet as your pivot foot.
Right.
You don't have to go straight up. That was my understanding of how that works.
I will point out real quick that Rose was fouled there, and now with Stack having 5 fouls, earned a penalty, so Rose goes to the free throw line.
However, Nick, if let's say you took 1 step, 2 step, and the second step is your hop step. So you take your first step and then you go into your hop step with that second foot. If you were to land on both feet, would you then not have to go up with a shot since you've already taken 2 steps?
I think you'd have to.
Exactly. Based on the letter of the law, I would think so. Typically, we don't see it officiated that way.
That pass goes out of bounds, but off Carollo's hand.
Meanwhile, on that last trip to the line, the Dolphins did miss 2 more free throws. They have now missed 7 shots from the line here in this first half. That's a lot of points that they've left at the stripe.
Yeah, if you hit half of those, you have almost a 7-point lead.
Inbound coming from the baseline with 13 to shoot. This is Cheatham. She crosses over, hops.
Looked like she traveled there.
Yeah,
and she did.
Traveled again. Well, that move is going to have to be eliminated from the repertoire for today's game. And that one, Nick, looked a lot more like a shuffling of the feet than a hop step. That one did not look like a hop step.
Yeah, I mean, I think the hop step, in my opinion, shouldn't be allowed in basketball.
It depends on whether or not you go up off of that hop step. If you take your hop step and then go straight into a shot, that is definitely a legal scoring move and a very effective move. But it's when you go a bit beyond that, basically establish another pivot foot, that you have a problem, at least from how we've seen it officiated today. I by no means purport to be an officiating expert. Keep in mind that I had to hammer it into my thick head that timeouts only advance the ball in the women's game.
Yeah, don't know why that is the deal, but it is. And Alarcon kicks up the foul there, so Masinga is going to check in for her. 2 fouls for Alarcon here.
Cheatham, the inbounder. Now Finnegan with it. Off the spin, she goes up with the lefty hook and rattles it home.
Nice job there.
Dolphins lead, trimmed back down to 1. This is Masinga in the corner. Now Carollo looking. And Rose left all alone, lays it up and in.
How do they let Rose get that open?
That was far too easy, and Bill Cleary not happy with his team's defense there.
Cleary clearly not happy with the effort on defense on that sequence.
Shortly, we will hear what head coach Nicole Sarcone thinks of her team's effort during our TLC Physical Therapy halftime report. Right now, the Dolphins in front by 3. 5 on the shot clock here for Stack. Cheatham with 2 to shoot. Was stripped.
How about that by Masinga?
Clean takeaway by Masinga, and Jacoby takes it right back.
Rose unable to handle the pass.
The Spartans can go 2 for 1 here. Jacoby outside. They swing it to Finnegan. No 2 for 1 here for the Spartans. Cheatham for Jacoby, and Rose was all over that pass. Here comes Kyra down the middle of the lane, and she is rejected by Cheatham.
Excellent job there by Cheatham.
We've seen some great defense from Cheatham in this game. Stopped a break earlier and does so again right there. Dolphins can hold for the final shot if they choose to do so. And you'd have to think they will here.
Yeah, they checked a boost bear into the game for Fallon, so I think that's was going to be the strategy.
So much for the final shot, Nick.
Nope, they still got a chance as the ball goes out of bounds there off Kramer.
So they'll have a shot to hold again for the last possession of the half.
And with no Alarcon on the court, you don't know who's going to be the go-to option here on offense, but it's going to have to be a boost bear with the time left.
1 second to go, and Abu Spare banks it in high off the glass.
Are you kidding me? A jaw-dropping circus shot. Generally, Alarcon just had to pick her jaw up off the court. Unbelievable. We got to take a replay look at that, as that was high up, almost hitting the shot clock. And how about that, Joe? 2 buzzer beaters in the first half for the Dolphins.
Well, the side of my head made it into that replay. Nonetheless, the Dolphins make it onto the board in the closing seconds of the first half. That one counts, and CSI leads 31-26 at the break.
Wayne State Medical School has been my dream medical school since I was 5. Athletics are important, but so is service, so is research, so is becoming a better person. And we expect you to do well athletically, but don't forget the reason you're here, which is to give back to your community and to get good grades. It was my sophomore indoor season. It was the first year with our new head coach. And he comes in and he's like, we could be a national contending team if you guys work hard. And I heard him and I was like, well, I want to be a national champion. I want to be an All-American. And I bought in because he bought into our team. And I qualified to go to indoor nationals. I decided I wanted it, so I went and grabbed it.
And we are back for the TLC Physical Therapy halftime report. Nick is joined down on the floor by women's basketball head coach Nicole Sarcone.
Thanks, Joe. Coach, practice must be paying off. Are you working on these buzzer beaters? Not 1, but 2 buzzer beaters in the first half. I've never seen that before.
No, we're not working on it, but I'm happy they went in. We needed that for confidence going into the second half. I think we need to do a little bit of a better job on the defensive end of the floor. We're letting them get down the lane a little bit too easily and too many points in the paint. And offensively, we got to start knocking down shots and cutting.
So right now, you girls are in a bit of a roll here. How do you keep it in the moment and not look too far ahead and just focus on one game, even one quarter at a time?
Yeah, I mean, something we talk about all the time. Get the quarter ahead of you. Get the one thing that we can control. Today's the only day we can control, the next 20 minutes. So we got to go out there and control that, and we move forward after the game.
All right, Coach, thank you for your time. Best of luck in the second half. Joe, back over to you at the commentary desk.
All right, thank you, Nick. That is our TLC Physical Therapy halftime report with women's basketball head coach Nicole Sarcone. Her team leads at the break, 31-26.
Basketball has a special place in my heart because of the experiences it has given me and the purpose I have found along the way. Basketball taught me that success doesn't require perfection. Rather, I should pursue excellence in everything that I do. Basketball has led me on a journey where I've accumulated numerous life lessons to value relationships, practice integrity, and demonstrate commitment. I've learned to welcome mistakes and not only accept adversity, but embrace it. It has the unique effect of eliciting talents in someone which would have otherwise lain dormant. It is something that builds character, an element that is essential to a player's growth and development. You sometimes wonder if all the mornings and late nights are really worth it. Then you look to your left and right, and you see your teammates beside you, and you know you're not alone. And it's comforting. When you're part of a team, there's a special joy in playing for something bigger than yourself. Basketball taught me how to embrace a community. Like music, it brings people together. When you make contributions to your team, your program, it's a rewarding feeling knowing the impact you have on the larger community when you observe how much it inspires the people around you.
Dear basketball, I was only a few months old when I took my first photograph with a ball on my lap. From that moment on, you never left me. Growing up in a small village in upstate New York, 2 miles from the Canadian border, you were my constant go-to for fun and entertainment. No matter if there was 3 feet of snow or the sun was scorching hot, I always found a way to be with you as you brought me so much joy. As a child, you always had a way of bringing the neighborhood kids together. Every day we would find our way to the circular paved patio I had in my yard with an 8-foot rim nailed to a tree. It wasn't the classiest court to play on, but it worked for us, and it's where my passion for you began. Little did I know you would take my friends and family on a journey of a lifetime. It was from you where I learned to be brave, courageous, and adventurous, that if I stuck with it through my moments of failure, disappointment, and heartache, I could achieve anything I put my mind to. Like attending Duke University on a full scholarship where I was able to surround myself in greatness both in the classroom and on the court. It is here where I truly learned how to step out of my comfort zone and discover what I was made of, refusing to let my insecurities and fears hold me back. Gail Gueston-Course and her incredible staff, along with my teammates, gave me a family away from home that I could have never dreamt of as a little girl. The ACC championships, the NCAA tournaments, including the national championship game in 1999, cannot match the friendships and relationships I developed because of basketball. See, I find it to be the relationships that we develop through our sports participation that are in fact the most meaningful and memorable. Basketball, you have given me a life team that I can never repay you for. You have supplied me with a platform that allows me to give back, to inspire, motivate, encourage individuals to go after their passions, to push through their failures and be fearless in stepping out of their comfort zones. It was because of you I was able to start my first company with co-founder Colleen Healy from UConn Women's Basketball called Orca Leadership. Orca standing for opportunity, resilience, contribution, and accountability. All 4 pillars we learned from playing your game. Even further, we were able to start up our own academy called Beyond the Game Academy, helping athletes across the country reach their dreams. I could have never imagined this life, and I have you to thank. Thank you, basketball.
The opportunities that basketball provided for me has been crazy. Being able to travel all over the world, to even a different country, just being able to meet so many different people and build so many different relationships has definitely just opened so many doors for me.
Opportunities that basketball has provided me, just to meet a lot of people, travel a lot of places, around the world and also around the country. It's just, a great experience to make me a more well-rounded person.
Just being able to learn from my teammates, learning really what sacrifice is about, learning about hard work, just being a part of a team, having that support group, having somebody that's there to support you no matter what. It's been great.
Basketball has given me a lot of opportunities. Obviously, just traveling and coming here, this is special. And we went to Spain over the summer, and I'd never been out the country before that, so it was special. And obviously, just giving me a free education. It's a big thing, and I'm glad basketball has been able to do it for me.
It's provided a lot of opportunities, provided me to get a college degree, travel places that I never thought I would travel to, and just meet new people.
I'd say basketball has just provided me with a variety of opportunities. I mean, just the connections that I made in the Purdue community, and kind of just growing as a player and as a person has. I'm definitely blessed and grateful to have all these opportunities.
Dear basketball, since I was a kid, you have always been a way for me to clear my mind of everything going on in life and just have fun playing and competing. You led me to seeing you where I've become a part of a close-knit basketball family. You've let me build relationships with my brothers that not many people get to experience, and these relationships have been able to grow and will certainly last a lifetime. You have taught me that this sport is more than getting the best stats or winning the most games, but it's about enjoying the experience, making a difference in the community, and always competing at my highest level. Through great leadership from Coach K and other coaches, you have given me top-of-the-line resources to learn not only about the game, but about life and being a man of integrity and humility. I would not be the person I am today if it wasn't for you, and I am forever grateful for the lessons you have taught me and the memories that I will have for the rest of my life.
College basketball has provided me with a platform to not only have fun on the court and be around some amazing teammates, but also kind of supplement academics with just another side of the Notre Dame experience, because sports are such an important part of the tradition there, and being a part of the Notre Dame sports tradition in any way is just an incredible honor. It's amazing. I mean, just being here all week, there's just so much recognition for such an amazing sport and such amazing teams that are here, and to be a part of that in any small way is just incredible, and I'm so lucky to be here. Just the value of determination, perseverance, and self-confidence in getting where you want to go in life. I've definitely learned a lot being around a team of such strong, inspiring women, and I can only hope to emulate their talent on the basketball court and other parts of my life. I'm a computer science major in Notre Dame's College of Engineering, and I was really drawn to it because I've always kind of loved math and science, and it's a really fun way to apply problem-solving skills to different situations, especially in today's day and age where technology is becoming such an integral part of society. Just figuring out different ways I can contribute to that, I'm really excited to see where it'll take me in the future. I mean, I think just the general mindset of approaching something from how can I solve this in not only the best way but the most efficient way, because there's a big emphasis on that in a lot of my classes, and just kind of seeing how the sports world and the academic world can overlap, even with just the GPS things that we wear during practice to keep track of how hard we're working. Just the technology behind that is super interesting to me also. When I first came to campus, I was hoping to get involved in the women's basketball program in some way, and I applied to be a manager, and I thought that would be an awesome opportunity, super excited. And then I got an email about walk-on tryouts. I'm like, oh, this would be a great way to go meet other girls to play pickup with. I had no idea it would lead to any of this, trust me, but I'm so glad it has. And after that, that's how I met some of the women's basketball people and how I got connected to be a team manager for the program. So I started doing that first semester of my freshman year, and then, as you probably know the story, last year with the 4 ACL tears, they just needed another practice player kind of thing. So I turned from a manager to a walk-on and got the opportunity to go in some games, just help the team out any way I could, and that was an incredible ride, obviously ending with the championship last season, which was amazing. And then same thing this year, kind of just some injuries happened and they needed someone to step up. So, I mean, I'm here to be whatever they need me to be, and I'm so blessed to be a part of this program in any way. Kind of going between the manager and walk-on role, I mean, it is a different type of thing I'm doing, but it's still being around the same girls every day and just being around the team. And for me, that was such a valuable thing. And again, I guess my passion for basketball and how much I just love the sport kind of made that seem easy. Not really something I thought about a ton, just because every day it wasn't about what I could do. It was just about kind of getting out and playing the game I love every day and just being around it in any way.
Basketball has given me everything in my life. It's given me a chance to get a college education. It gives my families to take trips to these cool tournaments we go to, and most importantly, my relationships with the people I've met throughout the years, and Coach Izzo down to my junior high coach. It's provided me with great relationships with teammates and guys that I'll be talking to for the rest of my life.
Basketball has provided me with just obviously the education portion of it is huge, and also just the relationships I was able to build with my teammates, guys on different teams that go to my school, like the football team and the soccer team. There's also just the relationships that I'm able to build outside of, athletics, and I believe that's huge, just being able to go and meet new people, especially at a big university like Ohio State, and just kind of get your network around and just see the way different people think and react to things.
I'd say basketball provided me with, I guess, the opportunity just to be around good people and meet people that can help me in life and give me a free education and be able to somewhat set myself up for a better life.
It has offered me opportunity to go to college, to leave my hometown, travel the world, build outstanding relationships and friendships. I'm forever grateful and a lot of gratitude to the game of basketball and to God for putting the basketball in my hands. So basketball has really blessed me a lot.
The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
And we are back for the start of the second half from the tank, where the Dolphins lead St. Thomas Aquinas College 31-26 at the start of the third quarter. And that lead remains 5 as Cheatham can't connect from distance.
Yeah, spoke with Coach Sarcone at the half and very happy, to say the least. Haven't seen too many Dolphins leads going into halftime at the tank this season.
There's the Dolphins turnover. Here comes Finnegan off the spin. And the layup won't go. Heavy traffic there. Tough shot from under the rim. Rose secured the rebound, finds Carollo. And now Abu Spair has it. Cheatham led Stack in scoring in the first half with 10. Genelise Alarcon led the Dolphins with 8. Can't get that one to go. Here comes Cheatham back the other way. On the wing. Kramer into the corner. Jacoby, quick pass inside. Finnegan against Carollo. And that shot may have been partially blocked.
Looked like it.
Another great outlet pass, and Alarcon finishes with the left hand.
What a pass.
Dolphins have really taken advantage of the Spartans on the fast break in this game. And we've seen a couple of times as well where Stack prevented what should have been easy fast break points. The Dolphins have really done a lot of damage in transition in this game. Kick out by Finnegan. Kramer for 3, in and out. Rebound still loose, secured by Rose, and the Dolphins look to run again. Abu Spair to the rim. Had it stripped away, and it will stay Dolphins ball.
Good defense by Finnegan to not allow Abu Spair to go up with the easy layup.
In the first quarter, the Spartans shot 5 of 12, the Dolphins 4 of 13. Both teams in the second quarter shot 7 of 13. That's 54%. As I mentioned during the second quarter, a bit of a higher scoring quarter. 18-15 Dolphins in quarter number 2. As Haggett has her second triple.
That was as smooth of a 3 as you will see. Literally nothing but net.
On the wing, this is Jacoby. Finally gives it up to Cheatham. Gets it right back for three. And that's a bit too strong. That was a two-pointer, toe on the line.
Dolphins looking to extend what is already their biggest lead of the game of 10 points.
Carollo left open. Splash.
And just like that, a 13-point game. And the Spartans are going to have to take a timeout.
The Dolphins come out swinging here in the third quarter. What a start to quarter number 3. The Dolphins on an 8-0 run here in the third. They lead it 39-26.
As a student athlete in college, I first got involved with the NCAA at the national level. It was through the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, SAC, gave me an opportunity to advocate on behalf of all student athletes, to affect change and to make an impact. The NCAA is giving the student athlete a platform to voice their concerns and to be able to advocate for what's going to affect their well-being. The policies that are being put in place are speaking towards academics, they're speaking towards well-being, they're speaking towards fairness, creating a culture so that the student athletes have the best experiences possible.
Just over 7 minutes to play in the third quarter. The Dolphins on an 8-0 run now lead it by 13. See if the Spartans have a response here out of that timeout. And they nearly turned it over. Instead, Jacoby can't hit the runner. And that ball was last touched by the Dolphins.
Yeah, Bousbert trying to save that there. Goes out of bounds with the ball.
Cheatham the inbounder, 20 on the shot clock.
Travel.
That was a 5-second violation, Nick, and a quick one it was.
Quick, for sure.
That was really fast.
No argument there, though, from Spartans.
Dolphins force yet another Spartans turnover with that 5-second violation. That's now 11 for Stack. Dolphins with 14 as Bousbert rattles in the three.
A double-A three right there. Get your batteries ready as Bousbert is all charged up in the second half.
Good one. Bousbert for Rose gets it right back. Short. And that shot right there really would have broken this game wide open.
Amber all laughs after that. She was feeling herself there. That was the heat check shot you was talking about.
Before that miss, the Dolphins were 3 of 3 from downtown here in the third. For the game, they are now 7 of 16. They will certainly take that. On the wing, Kramer looking back up top for Cheatham. 15 on the shot clock. Spartans having a really tough time getting free off the ball here. Dolphins doing a good job defensively. 5 to shoot. And jump ball is called. Possession arrow favors the Dolphins.
Well, there's a Bousbert again. She's been causing chaos for the Spartans.
And we've said it all year, Nick. Amber has really good hands defensively. Great in the passing lane, and when an offensive player gets by her, she's able to poke that ball free without committing a foul. I can't think of a better term for it than that wraparound poke at the ball where she goes around the offensive player's back and gets a piece of the ball with that hand.
Yeah, very tricky for a person with the ball to avoid that.
Carollo open up top. No good from 3. Rose tried to tip it out, but didn't get all of it. Yarosevichuta up the floor. Great pass to set her up, and she blows the layup. Alarcon with the rebound, and now the Dolphins look to run the other way. The no-look pass from Abu Spair, too high for Carollo.
Goes out of bounds.
Tough to miss Carollo at 5'11". Amber went with the no-look flashy pass, threw it away. Dolphin lead remains 16.
Amber certainly brings a lot of swagger when it comes to her passes.
Bounce pass inside, and Yarosevichuta converts on that attempt.
Carolina Yarosevichuta.
Dolphin lead 14 now. This is Rose. And she bobbled it on the way in. Rebounds her own miss.
Jump ball.
And this time the possession hour on the jump ball will favor the Spartans, as that will send us to a media timeout. 4:53 to go in the third quarter. The Dolphins lead it 42-28.
For me, just kind of was the glue that kept my family together. I feel like, I don't know what it was that drew me in, but after I started playing for a while and started seeing some early success as a little kid, to see how much it meant to my parents to see me play the game and try to make a difference was really what fueled me to keep playing and stay competitive. Being a triple major is not necessarily easy, but at the same time it is what you make it. Being a tighter-knit university, I have a lot of classes with the same professors, so they know me pretty well. I think it's that personal relationship that really helped me to thrive as a student. I was able to come here and get my triple major, as well as play a super high level of baseball against some of the best players in the country. There's a lot of options here in Division II with a lot of great ball players and a lot of great people, and they make sure that they give you every opportunity to succeed on and off the field.
.453 to go in the third quarter. It is Spartans basketball. They trail by 14. Dolphins applied some light pressure here, but Cheatham has it. And the Dolphins get set defensively. They've been good at this end of the floor today. Jacoby had an open look there in the corner, made the extra pass, and it does not pay off as Yarosevichuta can't finish. Abu Spair finds an open Masinge, and she knocks down the corner jumper.
Who's that kid in the corner? It's Swami and Masinge there knocking down the shot.
Masinge has shown she can hit those shots. Those true mid-range jumpers off the catch. We don't often see her shoot off the dribble, but when positioned well off the catch, that's a shot she can be relied upon to knock down.
She brings such great energy to this team. Usually does all those little things like getting hands in passing lanes that shots off the mark and drawing charges, but she can score.
Spartans have passed up some open looks. That time, it was Finnegan who caught it open. This time, Jacoby rattles in the mid-range jumper, and that was a good open look as well.
Spartans needed that, and Jacoby makes the shot.
For most of this game, Spartans have really struggled to get open off the ball. Dolphins have done a good job defensively and have shot it well here in the third quarter. That's been a big boost for them to help them build this lead. Masinge off the crossover, finds a cutting Rose, and Kyra draws the foul.
Rose will go to the free throw line now. And the Dolphins, as we mentioned, have not done a good job from the free throw line right now. The lead could be a lot bigger than what it is at 14.
Certainly could. And Rose will have another chance here from the free throw line. Was 0 of 2 on her last trip. And the first free throw is good. And the second free throw rolls off the front rim. Blocking foul is the call there.
Dolphins foul charge number 3.
Neither team in danger of a penalty situation here in the third. We saw that earlier in the game, especially in that second quarter when the Spartans picked up 5 quick fouls.
Yeah, definitely. They cleaned up the fouls in this half. I'm sure both coaches talked about that at halftime.
Feed inside to a cutting Kramer, extra pass, and one more. Yarosevichuta now doubled. Cheatham, shot fake, lost the ball, and we will stay right here.
So 2:52 left. And this has been one of the better quarters we've seen this season at home for the Dolphins.
Dolphins typically have played from behind in the second half of games. We've said that many times before, but you can never count them out. And to see themselves in this position late in the third has to be refreshing.
Yeah, we know this is what Coach Sarkone wanted, and you mentioned it in the first quarter, Joe. A win here will do the Dolphins wonders as they will continue to be in the driver's seat heading into the ECC Conference Tournament.
And back to the point about playing from behind, that's been the case more so at home as the Dolphins gained possession off the jump ball call. But on the road at Mercy the other day, they were winning that game late. And very quickly, a big Mavericks run put Mercy in front. The Dolphins, however, resilient as always, responded and came from behind yet again. This is Alarcon outside for Abu Spair. Phelan up top, right back to Abu Spair. Now Masinge in the corner, feeds Alarcon. 10 to shoot. Abu Spair left open for 3. In and out. And Weesey has the rebound. She's doubled, in trouble.
Ooh.
And Weesey went down hard as jump ball was called.
Yikes.
That was a loud thud as Weesey went down to the floor.
Jump ball possession arrow goes to the Spartans.
Mia Fuller checked into the game. So it's Fuller, Phelan, Weesey, Masinge, and Alarcon out there, the 5 for the Dolphins.
2 minutes to play, third quarter. Dolphins lead is 15 points. On the wing, Kramer back up top to Cheatham. Yarosevichuta over a double was rejected by Masinge.
No. Masinge blocks the shot away.
And the Dolphins have really made a point of not allowing Yarosevichuta to go one-on-one around the rim. And Dolphins turn it over here, much like we've seen teams defend Genelise Alarcon in that fashion. Cheatham on the pull-up, gets it to go, and it's a 13-point game.
I don't know how, but Weesey and Fuller ended up on the floor on that shot. But Cheatham's having a really strong game this afternoon.
The two Dolphins collided at the end of that.
Phelan's sporting a new hairdo for the second half. Took the braids out.
Good eye. I would have never noticed that. And
I am the color commentator, right?
well,
so
you are
that's
married,
my
so
job.
you notice those things.
I am married.
As a married man, you notice those things. I don't have that problem yet.
I don't think Dana's going to be player of the game, so we won't ask her about that. But maybe we'll get an off-camera question to her about that. The information for the next game.
If I ever do decide to tie the knot, do I expect to be reprimanded for not noticing the new hairdo?
No.
Should I expect that? No? You married a good one then.
Maybe like a haircut, but the chances are you'll know when she's going to get a haircut, so you'll be fine.
You give me a lot of credit, Nick. I'm a working man. I'm out quite a bit.
Well, you'll see. If you have kids, you got to be on the same schedule.
So at what age do we have Scott on as a guest? At what age is that appropriate?
I was actually talking to my wife this morning. I said, when do you think I should start bringing Scott and my son to games? I think we're going to wait like 3.5, 4 more years, because otherwise I'll be going crazy running on the court. I got to be able to make sure he sits here right next to me and not move. But he might be the youngest commentator in CSI Sports in history.
Could be. 10 to shoot. Alarcon finds Masinge open, and this time she can't hit.
And it'd be great if we ever have, we need a halftime interview and Coach Tibbs is in a bad mood. We'll send my son out there, and he'll be all happy.
Watch him melt as Weesey was tied up there on the jump ball with Finnegan.
Weesey playing very gritty in this quarter here, going after the loose balls, diving, getting knocked to the floor, and getting right back up and dusting her shoulder off and being ready to play.
Well, I can tell you she was not deterred by going down to the floor hard at the other end. She snatched that ball and eventually did take it from Finnegan's hands as both went down to the floor hard. She will remain in the game.
Weesey playing a nice role this season for the team and expected to play an even bigger role in the future. She's only a sophomore.
With a lot of players departing the program from last year's squad, the returning bench players from last year have had to assume bigger roles.
Yeah, and they've all stepped up their game.
And they certainly have. That was going to be my point, as that pass is too high for Alarcon. So after a red-hot start to the quarter offensively, the Dolphins have cooled off a bit. That being said, their defense in this quarter has been fantastic, allowing just 6 points. Jacoby heaves it, and that's off back iron, no good.
We almost had 3 buzzer beaters in a row.
We will have to settle for a buzzer beater-less third quarter as we head to the fourth. Our score, Staten Island 45, St. Thomas Aquinas 32.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not run Division II cross country for the University of Mount Olive. Having an athletic and academic scholarship was key for my success. Our coaches were really helpful with balancing out my academics and athletics. I decided to attend graduate school because I wanted to become an athletic director. Receiving the postgraduate scholarship through the NCAA provided me with the flexibility to choose the school that I wanted. So now I know that I can accomplish any goal that I set for myself.
Start of the fourth quarter from the tank, and the Dolphins lead at 45-32. CSI going for their 4th straight conference win, looking to become the first team to 4 victories outside of Damon University in the ECC on the women's side. And that was a good start there as Cheetah missed, but an offensive rebound goes to the Spartans. Feed inside, Kramer with the left hand, banks it in.
Good start to the fourth for Kramer and the Spartans.
Haggett left open. No good. Spartans are going to need some of that. The Dolphins have gotten a lot of good looks, and in that third quarter, especially early on, they knocked those down. And to make up a double-digit deficit, the Spartans will need the Dolphins to miss some of those shots.
Well, Joe, I'm very pleased that the men's game will be starting on time.
And Jacoby with the tough layup makes it a 9-point game.
So good start here to the fourth quarter for the Spartans.
If the Dolphins do not score, and they will not, I think another Spartans basket would prompt a timeout. And immediately, Nick, you see Abu Spair, Rose, Carollo right back to the scorer's table. Finnegan barely kept her balance, almost traveled, and another offensive rebound. This time it is Papura who got in there and snatched it away, and you know the Dolphins bench hates to see that. A couple of offensive rebounds early in this quarter, Already a couple of second chance points on the board, and now a chance for more as the Dolphins will call timeout.
We knew that timeout was coming.
And that timeout will extend to a media timeout. So with that, we will take a quick break. Spartans have quickly trimmed the Dolphins' lead back down to single digits. Staten Island leads 45-36.
The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
.8:29 to go in the fourth quarter from the tank. The Dolphins lead it 45-36, but very quickly, Spartans have scored the first 4 points here in the fourth quarter, and they have the ball with 20 on the shot clock, trailing by 9. Finnegan pulls it back outside and gives it up to Cheatham. Now 10 to shoot. Cross-court pass from Papura. Inside is Finnegan. Jump ball called. And possession arrow favors the Dolphins.
Jump ball, possession arrow goes to the Dolphins.
9-point game here, 8:12 remaining. Dolphins looking to get their first points of the quarter.
Haggett in the corner, 20 to shoot. Now under 8 minutes to play. Alarcon with a rare one-on-one kicks out to Carollo. Genelise wants it back. She goes to work and was stuffed on the layup attempt. The double came late. Well defended by the Spartans. Yara Sevachuta into the corner, back outside for Jacoby. Now Finnegan up top, defended by Rose. She swings it to Cheatham. Cheatham looking for somewhere to go with it. Now goes to work against Abu Spair. Picks up her dribble, bounce pass, saved along the baseline. Yara Sevachuta weaves in, can't finish, tries again, no good.
What a sequence. Nice save there by Papura to keep this sequence alive, but Spartans could not convert.
Big opportunity there for the Spartans to get to within 7. Instead, Rose drives, can't finish. Stack heading back the other way. Jacoby looks to drive. Kicks out. Papura up top, Cheatham. Yara Sevachuta with the screen. Cheatham to the rim. And a foul was called, I believe, away from the ball again. Perhaps not, as Abu Spair, and indeed it was away from the ball. Kyra Rose picks up the personal.
A lot of off-ball fouls in this game.
And that bank shot is good by Finnegan very quickly. Off the inbound, Finnegan makes it a 7-point game. And Nick.
Nice pass by Cheatham off the inbound.
Dolphins beginning to show some frustration out there now.
Yeah, that big lead that they built up in this third quarter is gone.
Carollo almost lost it. She's doubled. Abu Spair from Masinge in the corner. 8 to shoot now. Abu Spair on the pull-up. Short. Rebound goes to Cheatham.
Spartans doing a great job in this quarter of double teams and crashing the boards.
Dolphins have just had nothing at the offensive end here in the fourth as a foul was called. And that is now, I believe, the third team foul, unless they got it on the board so quickly I missed it.
No, it should be the third.
Sometimes they are just so good over there that we miss them updating the scoreboard. But it looks like 2, Nick.
I thought Rose was the second. I'll have to check the official stats.
can always count on the stats desk.
Because you did say before the Rose, 2 quick fouls for the Dolphins.
That hook shot won't go, and that's a big miss. The Dolphins needed a stop there. Even more so right now, they need a basket. Nicole Sarcone calls a play out from the bench. This is Abu Spair. Over to Masinghe. Masinghe doubled. Now Carollo had Abu Spair in the corner, missed her, and Alarcon draws the foul.
Heading to the free throw line now for some big free throws.
Dolphins in this game could still be leading by double digits were it not for their poor free throw shooting. They are 6 of 14 from the line in this one. Meanwhile, Stack has attempted just 1 free throw in the game as Alarcon rattles that one in. Alarcon's second free throw is good. Ball was poked loose at center court. Perhaps fumbled on the exchange. Spartans left with 20 on the shot clock. Trailing by 9, that's tipped and stolen. Good hand in the passing lane by Carollo. Abu Spair kicks out for Weesey. And now Carollo in the corner. Surveys the floor, will take her time. Just over 5 minutes to play, the Dolphins lead by 9. Abu Spair for Weesey. And she stepped out. Timeout called by the Spartans with 5:05 to go.
30-second timeout.
Our score with just over 5 minutes remaining. Staten Island 47, Stack 38. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
As a student athlete in college, I first got involved with the NCAA at the national level. It was through the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, SAC, gave me an opportunity to advocate on behalf of all student athletes, to affect change and to make an impact. The NCAA is giving the student athlete a platform to voice their concerns and to be able to advocate for what's going to affect their well-being. The policies that are being put in place are speaking towards academics, they're speaking towards well-being, they're speaking towards fairness, creating a culture so that the student athletes have the best experiences possible.
.505 to go, fourth quarter. Dolphins lead at 47-38. It is Spartans basketball. And right now the Dolphins still holding on to this lead behind that big run to start the third. Stack has chipped away, but has not gotten any closer than 7. Yarosevichuda against Carollo, defended well, and Carollo has the rebound. Outlet up ahead to Abu Spair. She looks to drive, kicks out to a wide open Weesey. Way short, and Masinghe couldn't pull in the rebound.
Yeah, bad time for an air ball there. Masinghe tried to grab it, but she was losing her footing, and the ball goes out of bounds.
And another offensive foul, this time of the charging variety. Big call there as Alarcon stepped in and drew the charge.
Yeah, that's why Alarcon's one of the best, if not the best, defensive player in the conference.
A 3-time ECC Defensive Player of the Week to open up this season. Abu Spair for Weesey, now Alarcon in the corner. Back out to Abu Spair, now Carollo. 15 on the shot clock. Carollo now in the corner with it. Defended closely by Papura. 8 to shoot. Abu Spair uses the Carollo screen, lost her footing, lost the ball, and we will head the other way. It has not been a good offensive quarter for the Dolphins, but they have managed to weather the storm. CSI with just 2 points here in the fourth.
Hard to believe.
They've allowed just 6 in over 6 minutes. They'll take that. Cheatham. And that's a big miss. That would have made it a 2-possession game.
Dolphins here looking for a closer, someone to take over offensively here and close things out.
Dolphins, big need of a basket. And that is the basket they needed. Carollo gets the bounce, and that puts the Dolphins in front by 12.
Carollo gets that lucky bounce, and now the Dolphins steal the ball.
Dolphins looking for 2 quick scores. Carollo off the feed from Abu Spair.
Abu Spair behind the back, and Carollo with quick 5 points there.
Abu Spair not deterred by throwing it away earlier. She goes around the back there for the assist to Carollo. And with 3 minutes to go, the Dolphins now lead it by 14 as Yara Sevachuta ends the CSI run with that layup.
Abu Spair certainly in the running for player of the game, presented by TLC Physical Therapy.
Let's take a look and begin to speculate, Nick.
It's got to be her, Alarcon.
Genelise has 12. Carollo has 13 on 3 of 6 from downtown. We have not spoken to
her.
Alexa yet.
We, of course, haven't spoken to Amber Abu Spair either.
Well, that is not for lack of trying.
She should have been. She was our TLC player of the game, the first game of the season.
You did get to speak to her, however, as part of a segment for CSI TV that then later aired as part of our Dolphin Pod.
Good interview with Amber. Check that out about coming home for her graduate season and scoring 1,000 career points along with her teammate, Genelise Alarcon.
Should the Dolphins hold on, Nick, I think our player of the game will be Alexa Carollo.
Well deserved.
13 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks as of now. And you can give her 15.
Is that our Dolphin career high?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But it's close. I'll tell you right now what her season scoring high is. As that will keep Stack in it. Alea Thomas from downtown. We see long pass for Abu Spair. That's an ugly miss, but Alarcon got her hands on it. And jump
really
ball was
quick
called.
Jump ball whistle again there as Alarcon ended up wrestling that away. Possession arrow favors the Spartans.
Carollo is 2 points away from her Dolphins season scoring high.
So 17 was her high?
16.
16.
2 points from achieving a new season high in scoring.
Timeout, Spartans.
Spartans will call timeout following a tie-up just beyond the half-court line. And with 1:50 to go, Stack will have to work quickly to stay in this game. But, Nick, we've seen crazier things before.
We certainly have. And you never cannot expect the unexpected here.
We touched on it during the pregame, but this would be a big win for the women's basketball program, not just in terms of their playoff positioning, albeit very early in the conference schedule. However, historically, this would be their first win against Stack as a D2 program. So that, of course, carries with it a lot of significance. And finally, you get to put that behind you moving forward and take some additional confidence into that second matchup on the road at Spark Hill later this season.
Should be another big one in the future. But right now, the Dolphins firing at all cylinders in conference.
And another offensive foul is called away from the ball, and that might put this one out of reach for the Spartans.
Her fourth, team's fifth.
Thomas gets the foul here.
With the win, the Dolphins will move to 4-1 against the ECC. As Abu Spair surprisingly looking to be a bit aggressive there, up 11. With under 2 minutes to play. Jacoby has to be aggressive here. Kicks out to Thomas, who goes around the back. Nearly threw it away.
Last thing you want to do is foul here on a three-point attempt or foul at all for the Dolphins.
Masinghe defending closely, and you said it, Nick. Don't want to foul. Masinghe defended too closely.
If you're the Spartans, you need to get fouled and make the baskets while the clock is stopped.
So if the Dolphins do manage to hold on, they move to 4-1 in conference play.
By far their best start. in ECC history.
No question about it. And taking a look at the teams immediately behind them, they've already beaten 3 of them.
Wow.
Mercy is 2 spots back. UDC 3 spots back. Deauville 4 spots back. So they have to feel pretty good. And I think their first matchup against Queens could go a long way toward determining who would be next in line.
And we're getting now into it where it's going to be all conference play pretty much from here on out.
Rest of the way, just 1 non-conference game left. Their first matchup with Queens comes on Saturday, January 25th in Flushing, and that game will go a long way in determining who is next in line behind Damon early in the conference season. I think it's unlikely that either team would surpass Damon by that point, but that game likely at the time will determine who is next in line to perhaps pass Damon in the ECC standing, should either of the 2 teams get within striking distance to do so. Yarosevic with under a minute to play. Her team still trailing by 11. This is Thomas, foot on the line, short. And Weesey has the rebound. We'll see if the Dolphins dribble it out here. And the Spartans foul. Not sure the bench wanted that.
Spartans foul charge number 20, Delaney Finnegan. That is her 5th. Team is over.
Finnegan is fouled out. And the Dolphins will get a chance to bolster their free throw numbers here.
Now, Joe, do you think Alexa Carollo has any idea that she's about to do a post-game interview?
No. Though it's awfully quiet, and you just said it pretty loud. She's about 15 feet away from us, so if she didn't know already, she might now.
We'll see.
Too locked in. I don't think she heard you.
I don't even think the thought has crossed her mind that she would ever get interviewed.
Well, that doesn't say a lot about confidence.
You know what? Some of these players, if they've never done it before, they don't even know that we do it.
It's a good point. After the miss, Yarosevic was stifled on the second try. Stack will foul again, but this one is long decided as the Dolphins will move to 4-1 against the ECC. As you said, Nick, their best 5-game start in conference play during the Division II history of this program. They've now won back-to-back games with this victory and 4 straight against the ECC.
And they hope to keep the good times coming on Wednesday when they go up to Rochester to take on Roberts Wesleyan University.
And I think something else that has to be a big positive for this Dolphins team early in the season, as we see, I thought initially fouled, but Stack will call a full timeout. Something the Dolphins have to be very pleased with is that even in their loss against Damon, that game was close, and they were right there down the stretch. Certainly had a chance to win it.
Yeah, so they're not afraid. And we'll see when they match up next later in the season.
Friday, January 31st.
A trip up to Buffalo. Now, Joe, I mentioned that Buffalo trip. Remember last year, we had to do a Super Bowl Sunday broadcast because the Buffalo teams were here.
Well, Dolphins, based on that, will be in Buffalo on Super Bowl weekend this year. I think that's the weekend of the Super Bowl, if I'm not mistaken.
Yikes.
It would stink to be a Dolphins basketball player in that regard.
I feel a social media video coming up.
Oh, yeah?
Asking the Dolphins players how they feel about watching the Super Bowl on the bus. Heading back home from Buffalo.
That's tough. That really is tough.
I'll have to ask Coach Tibbs about that when we get closer.
He's going to be all business, focused solely on Deauville and Damon. You always hope to be on that bus fresh off of 2 victories. Dolphins will have to get through Saints and the Wildcats to make that happen.
Lots of season left to go, of course.
Well, women's basketball has to feel pretty good about the way this one has started. Thomas threw it away, and the Spartans will not foul as the Dolphins win it by 13 points. Our score, Staten Island 57, And stack 44. Alexa Carollo, our TLC Physical Therapy Player of the Game, will join Nick on the floor following this short break.
Wayne State Medical School has been my dream medical school since I was 5. Athletics are important, but so is service, so is research, so is becoming a better person. And we expect you to do well athletically, but don't forget the reason you're here, which is to give back to your community and to get good grades. It was my sophomore indoor season. It was the first year with our new head coach. And he comes in and he's like, we could be a national contending team if you guys work hard. And I heard him and I was like, well, I want to be a national champion. I want to be an All-American. And I bought in because he bought into our team. And I qualified to go to indoor nationals. I decided I wanted it, so I went and grabbed it.
And we are back for our TLC Physical Therapy post-game report. Nick is joined on the floor by our player of the game, Alexa Carollo.
Thanks, Joe. Alexa, congrats on the win. Player of the game. You were locked in this afternoon. 15 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks. Overall, a fantastic game. What was going through your mind out there on the court this afternoon?
Coach had mentioned before the game that we haven't gotten one on our home court in a little while, so I think I made sure I just had a lot of energy today and just staying locked in throughout the whole game.
And talk about momentum builders and energy builders. Not one, but 2 buzzer beaters in the first half, Dana and then Amber. What was the reaction to the team to those 2 buzzer beaters?
You know what? We work on crazy shots, half-court shots, buzzer beaters all the time, so that's just another day for us.
And last thing, Alexa, how happy are you that you transferred here for this season?
I'm really happy. I love being home, and I think we have a great environment here, so I love playing here.
Congratulations. Go enjoy the victory with your teammates. Joe, back over to you at the commentary desk.
All right, thank you, Nick, and thank you to our TLC Physical Therapy Player of the Game, Alexa Carollo. 15 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 blocks for the grad student transfer as she and the Dolphins defeat St. Thomas Aquinas College by 13 points. CSI wins it 57-44. Coming up next, our men's basketball contest as the Dolphins and Spartans tip off in about 25 minutes. Be sure to tune in for that game right back here on the ECC Network. And for everyone tuning in for our women's game, thanks for watching, and be sure to catch the men's game coming up next.